Structures are a type of data structure that allow you to store different types of values. With structures, the values are stored in what are called fields. Fields are given names, and they are referred to as the name of the structure variable, dot or period, and then the field name. So we use the dot operator to refer to fields within a structure variable. Structure variables can be initialized using the struct function, which takes pairs of arguments. In each pair, you have the field name as a string, followed by the value for that particular field. To print a structure variable, you can use disp to display all of the fields. With fprintf, you can only print individual fields by referring to them using the dot operator. Here's an example of a structure variable. Using the struct function, we're creating a structure variable called subjvar, short for subject variable, that stores two fields in it. So again, for each field you have a pair. First is the field name as a string, followed by the value. So in this particular structure we have two fields, one called subj number, or subjno, and that has the value 123. And then we also have a field called height, and that has a value 62.5. So what we're doing basically is creating one variable called subjvar, and that has within it two different fields, subjno and height, and their values are, for subjno, or subject number, the value is 123, and for height, it's 62.5. So we have one variable called subjvar that has two fields within it. So you can refer to an individual field using the dot operator, subjvar.height or subjvar.subjno. So in this case, that's 62.5. To display, again, you can use disp to display the entire variable. So it shows for each field the name of the field followed by a colon followed by the value. So for subjno 123, for height 62.5. For fprintf, on the other hand, you can only print an individual field using the dot operator, so you can't automatically print everything. So we can use the fprintf to print in a formatted way, however. For example, the subject number is 123. There are several functions that we can use with structures. There's a function rmfield, which is short for remove field. So what you can do is to pass to the rmfield function a structure variable and the name of a field, and it will remove the field, but it doesn't actually change that variable unless you assign it back to the same variable. There's a function isStruct that will tell you whether a variable is a structure variable or not, so it will return logical 1 for true if the argument is a structure variable, or 0 for false if not. There's also a function isField that will tell you whether something is a field in a structure or not. So it receives two arguments, a structure variable and a string, and it will tell you whether that string is the name of a field within the structure variable. Logical 1 for true if it is, logical 0 for false if it isn't. There's also a field names function. You pass to that a structure variable, and it'll return the names of all of the fields as a cell array. So the reason it's a cell array is because cell array can store strings of different lengths, and it's likely that the names of the fields within the structure variable are different lengths. So again, field names, you pass a structure variable, it'll give you a cell array storing the names of all of the fields within that structure variable. So cell arrays and structures, they're both used to store different types of values. So when would you use one versus the other? Cell arrays are arrays, so that means they're indexed. So what that means is that you can loop through the elements in a cell array, or have MATLAB do that for you by using vectorized code. Structs, on the other hand, are not indexed, so you cannot loop. However, the field names are mnemonic. They make sense, so it's more clear what's actually being stored in a struct. For example, if you had a variable curly braces 1 versus variable dot weight, which one is more mnemonic? Here are your first two questions. Question 1, name one similarity between cell arrays and structure. Question 2, use the struct function to create the following structure variable.